We're starting now. Where the hell are you? What do you mean you're taste testing creme brulees with Thierry Henry? We've got a show to broadcast. Yes, I know what a creme brulee is. It's a glorified custard tart. Brunettis sell the same thing back home for half the price. Yeah, well, I'll just have to do it myself, won't I? Welcome back to another episode of the OlympiVan. I'm Coach Cole, and as you can see, my co-host Choc is not with us today. He's been held up in Parisian traffic, but we're going to continue on without him. So let's get into it with the medal tally. Dennis, over to you.
If you don't wish to know the score, I suggest you look away now.
My next guest is a two-time Olympian, having represented the green and gold at both the Atlanta and Sydney Games. In fact, his 400-metre hurdle run at the Atlanta Games still stands as the current Australian record. Please welcome into the OlympiVan, Mr. Rohan Robinson. G'day, mate. You got the memo. You're looking great.
Yeah.
Get in, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
It's been a long time since we've seen each other.
It is. The last time was at the...
Debbie Flintoff Kings.
That's right.
Debbie Flintoff's 30th medal anniversary.
At the barbecue.
That was right. I remember Dean Capobianco when Matt Sherving and they were fighting over the last sausage sizzle.
Absolutely. Going for the Kransky.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Now tell me, Rohan, Atlanta, your first Olympic Games, you got to witness perhaps the greatest sports person of our time, Muhammad Ali, light the Olympic flame. What was that like?
It was sensational. Standing right there, front and centre. And up he went, got the job done, and what a superstar.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Now, I've heard you brought your own torch with you today, is that right?
I have. So this is the one that I actually carried through the streets of Canberra.
Wow, after all these years. Now, we've got Brisbane 2032 coming up. Any chance you're going to be participating in that one?
Well, I don't think I'll be on the field, but with half a dozen kids, I'll be up there watching, no doubt.
Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Thanks for bringing that along. I mean, that's not something you see very often, guys. That is the authentic, not from Temu, Olympic torch from the Sydney Olympics.
Doesn't get out much. I was thinking about mounting it to the bonnet of my car.
But that will look brilliant. A bit of a Mad Max vibe. Right, Rohan, let's stay in Atlanta. You've just witnessed the great Muhammad Ali, but you've got an amazing...
Hang on a second, Coach. Yeah. Is it okay? Do you mind if I slip into something more comfortable?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah.
How's that?
Mate, much better, let me tell you. So as I was saying, you still hold the Australian record for the 400-metre hurdles from your semi-final race in Atlanta. Take us through that race.
Well, it was pretty tough. I was in lane 8, so I had to run blind the whole way. You don't get to see anyone until you get into the straight. So that was pretty tough because I couldn't see anything at all. But just had to go for it. So it was just foot to the floor right from the word go. And just like you always used to say, go out, run the first half flat out, and then kick.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And don't let it happen, make it happen.
That's right.
That final was a stacked field. You're running from lane 8. You're less than half a second off the bronze medal. How do you prepare for such a race in such a stage as the Olympics? Is there anything you do to settle your nerves or ease the tension?
Yeah, well, I used to use a lot of visualisation techniques and also quite a bit of soft tissue massage, particularly whilst listening to Celine Dion. Absolutely. It's the way to go.
How good. All by myself. What a track. Guys, can we play that track?
What are you doing?
Near, far, wherever you are. So, Rohan, after a great showing in Atlanta 96, what the hell happened in Sydney, mate? You shut the bed.
Yeah, absolutely. Sadly, I know it's an excuse, but I was injured. I actually did my hammy at trials, which was only about 4 weeks beforehand.
It's not enough time to prepare, is it?
And no.
What was your form like heading into Sydney, though?
Oh, look, I don't think I was in as good a shape as I was going into Atlanta, 4 years older, getting a little bit long in the tooth. But, yeah, certainly disappointing to have to run the biggest track meet in Australian sporting history with one leg tied behind my back.
I can imagine, mate. It's
devastating.
Tough. That happened to me when I popped my shoulder out playing pickleball recently.
Pickleball?
Yeah, have you heard of pickleball?
I haven't.
Well, check it out, mate. It's an Olympic sport. It's coming soon, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Now, what was your favourite moment in Sydney then? Obviously, you mentioned the disappointment, but What do you remember from those games, and what sticks in your mind?
From my experience, Sydney was crap.
Shit City, Melbourne is much better.
Much better. Weather was crap, and it actually felt like interclub. You know, like you go to the Olympics and you want to be in the zone, and you go through the call room, and and you want to get pumped up. And I was in the call room in Sydney, and I was up against it because my leg was hanging off by a thread. And you go into the call room, and there's old Betty, the official, who's been checking you in at Interclub for the last 10 years, and she's like, "Good luck, Rowan," and I'm like, "Good to see the Olympics." trying to fire up.
Yeah. I need some Celine Dion.
Oh, look, she meant well.
Yeah.
She meant well, but for me, Sydney was just a real drag.
On that note, let's get back to Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Because
Please.
now in Atlanta, you would have got to witness a rare occurrence. 2 world records broken. One in the 100 metres, Donovan Bailey, 984. 200 metres, Michael Johnson, 1932. What was that like?
That 1932 200 final was the event immediately after my 400 hurdles final. So I actually watched that from the infield, and we walked off the track together down the race with Michael, and I'll never forget, we were walking down together and I just went, "Michael, outstanding." He was like, "Thanks, man."
How good is that? You're witnessing greatness, aren't you?
I mean, everyone thought that record would stand forever. It was just...
Until the great Usain Bolt.
Yes. Well...
Have you seen these?
I have.
Now look at this gold.
They're a bit special.
Inspired by Michael Johnson. He did wear the gold spikes in Atlanta. And speaking of which, check it out, guys. Here's yours truly winning the greatest race of my career.
You've worked so hard to get here. It's always been your goal. The pistol shot rings in your ear. So go, your good thing, go. The nation's right behind you. Now you're bringing home the gold. You need a training, 'cause you're a superstar. Training, it's the taste of Australia.
What do you reckon of that, mate?
Looking pretty good there. Looking very good.
Well, look, I'm no Michael Johnson or Donovan Bailey, but I can run a good race, especially with some beer behind me.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of Michael Johnson,
Yeah.
when we were in the village there, sitting around on the table with Michael, and we've walked in, and there was a bunch of these American girls, and they're all just carrying on about talking about men and just trashing men.
How good? Oh, how bad men are.
How bad? Saying men are pigs. Men are they're all pigs. When you meet a guy, he's all smiles, chewing with his mouth closed, opens the door for you, no burping, farting, anything like that. But after a while, it all we just change, and we're pigs. And my manager at the time, he said, "Well, what do you make of that, Michael? The girls are giving us a bit of a hard time." And Michael's leaned back in his big Texas voice, and he's just said, "I always make sure I fart on a first date. Girls got to get to know my smell."
Oh, the olfactory senses, the scent of a man. Well, as Pacino would say, the scent of a woman. Hooah! And what about any Donovan Bailey stories?
Well, I remember one year, actually it was after '96, we went back to Europe to run on the circuit. We had dinner together, and then afterwards we were in the lift together going upstairs. We get up, and my room was that way, and Donovan's room was that way. And I've looked down my corridor, it's just an empty corridor, and I've looked down his way, and there was about half a dozen young ladies accumulated around his door. Oh. And I said, "What's going on there?" And without even looking back at me, he's just gone, "It's going to be a long night, Robinson."
Yeah, but those sprinters, right, they command that kind of attention,
Well,
don't they?
they're the rock stars. They are the F1s of the track.
That's right. And is it true, the rumour about the copulation that happens in the Olympic Village?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that, Coach.
No. Well, that's right, because I used to tell you, don't do anything until after the race.
Abstinence. For weeks
For
and
weeks.
weeks.
Yes.
And sometimes
Use that energy.
the starter would say set, and you'd be you know, the gun would go off and bang, and you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, that's how you have to
You
be.
were that wound up, the bloody crack of dawn wasn't safe.
No, exactly. Well, Rohan Robinson, absolute honour to have you in the OlympiVan. Good to see you again. You're looking so fit, mate.
You're not just saying that?
No, I believe in you, mate. I reckon you could go and run that record again tomorrow.
Oh, if only.
It's what, 29 years now it's going to be, isn't it? Almost?
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah. Well, we're not going home empty-handed, mate. We've got you some tradie beer from our sponsor, Tradie. This is one of their fine lagers. Have a look at that.
Giddy up.
That's for you. We got some croissants here. This is from Zinedine Zidane's bakery just down the road. So that's to enjoy the Parisian tastes and flavours.
Just to get right into it.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to celebrate your 400-metre hurdle record by having a shoey. Care to join me?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Oh, look at that. Pale ale, the tradie beer, it's the best. Mate, I would like to make a toast to Rohan Robinson, the current day holder of the 400-metre hurdles record. Cheers, mate.
Long may it rain.
See you, Rohan.
Vive la France!
Vive la France!